stop the music. Stop the music. Dave, you experienced that?
Yeah, I know all about that, man. I know all about that, mate. Yeah. You're in church, the chorus is playing, and you're going like the clappers, and
stop the music.
One of the pastors on the ration just says, stop the music. Oh, man, I remember that, man. Embarrassing, mate. Oh, mate. But it develops characters. Yeah, mate. You can play in church back in those days. You can play anywhere, mate. Yeah, no problem, mate. No problem.
Who we got coming up now, Dave?
We got Overseer Wright. One of the founders of the Assembly of the Firstborn. What a man. General Sam. Absolutely, man.
So why did we interview?
Well, you know, he was original church boy. He knew all about it from back in the day. See, we play the kind of music that these guys lived, yeah, and we grew up listening to it. And yeah, original church boy. He played guitar in it?
Played guitar.
And he sang?
And he sang as well. Man, listen, you're giving it away, Dave. We're giving it away. We've got to stop.
True. Yeah.
Obviously, right.
I never planned to travel. I was quite a successful shoemaker. I also do farming as well, and at the age of 24, I was quite successful. But then the Lord spoke to my heart and turned me around to come to England. I really didn't want to come, but I realized it was God's plan. I came, and of course, the job that I got when I came here was nothing to compare to what I'm doing. I was getting about a quarter of what I was earning in my training in Jamaica. Nevertheless, as it goes, and 1 year later I got married, and the Lord spoke to me of having a prayer meeting. But I wouldn't tell anybody about it, because I didn't want to any responsibility of any church. Well, according to how I was told, I thought when I came here I would have seen great, wonderful things and lovely homes and so on. As a matter of fact, something happened. Even my money I have, they told me I don't need to travel with a lot of money, so I'll give my mother. And just after I get on the ship, then I realized I need my money.
Right.
So when I landed here, I was very surprised to see the country that I came in. I thought it was more beautiful and so on and so on. Nevertheless, as I arrived here already, I couldn't do anything about it. I just have to take it. But it was a very difficult experience. It was very difficult in those days. The kitchen, they had to use the landing to cook on.
To use the landing?
The landing. A stove was put on the landing. So you can imagine how difficult it was. But we tried to manage. And one of the things that beats me, I never used to cook. I didn't used to do any domestic things. But I had us to come here and do that. According to my leader in Jamaica, he always advised us to dress properly. And I always tried to go properly. As a matter of fact, I traveled on the boat for nearly 21 days. And it's only a few nights I don't have service in there. I have service every night. So right there, God began to use me on the ship.
So did you come over in a bow tie or
no, necktie.
A necktie.
Yeah, necktie.
And did you have the hat?
Yes, I always have a hat.
Do you still have it on your original one today?
No.
Not the original. What was the colour of the original one then, sir?
I normally would wear a kind of a grey hat.
A grey hat.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So did you come in a suit? Was it
yes,
a suit
yes. On the ship we don't have to wear a suit, but
yes.
when we land with a suit on. Yeah.
Okay. And when you went to church every Sunday, you always had
always have my tie on.
Excellent.
So it's a part of me even now. I hardly go. Up to the other day we were some places and they were saying. My wife was saying to them, they want to see me in America, we go without a tie, but here, I don't. I hardly ever go out on the street without having a tie. I tell you, 2 weeks ago, the Youth Day, and they have a T-shirt, Youth, department, and they asked everybody to buy one of the T-shirts and to wear it. And to the brethren's surprise, I wore mine come. And the entire everybody was amazed to see me wear it. As the time goes on, a couple of years after, then the Lord began to speak to me. Whatever church I go, I've always been a blessing, but I didn't want to take responsibility. People come to me, why don't I start a church? And so, no, I wouldn't. But the Lord spoke to me in a vision to have a prayer meeting. And I thought, oh no, I haven't got a house to do that, so I was living as a tenant at a gentleman's home. He was an Adventist, and I don't want to disturb him neither. But lo and behold, one day, a brother that I received from Jamaica was living in the same home with me. And he came to me and he said, I dreamt that you supposed to have a prayer meeting. Then I was frightened, and I realized the Lord didn't show it to him because I wouldn't tell anybody. And because he said that to me, now I decided, all right, now God is speaking, I got to do what God said. But I didn't have a home. And I go searching, and eventually the Lord take me to 55 Stormont Road. And I remember when my wife and I went to sign the paper, I was so nervous that the lawyer turned to me and said, Mr. Wright, don't sign today, and don't say you won't sign, because he feared that I was trembling to take up that task to buy a house. And in those days, £1,000 is like £1 million today.
Yes.
Right. And he said, go home and then think it over. And when I left and went home, my spirits revived, and the wife and I went and signed the paper the following day. And these were the words he said to me, Mr. Wright, if you didn't sign it, you would not get a mortgage, because Battersea Borough Council gave mortgage. This is the last one.
What was the last one?
And we got through with the house, and I remember when I got the key, I was on night work. And I moved the wife and some friends in the house the Friday, but I couldn't sleep in the house because I got to go to work the Friday night. And before I lay my head in that house, the Saturday night, I organized a prayer meeting, and I planned it from that day. Every Wednesday and Friday night is prayer meeting service, just like a church service. And people begin to hear from all over the place about the prayer meeting, and they begin to come to the prayer meeting, and till souls begin to get saved. When the room began to get too small, then I was told about a hall down at East Road, and we went and asked for it to hire. First of all, we got in Tuckaway Road to have the service on Sundays, but we couldn't have the prayer meeting there, so we still have to have the prayer meeting in the house. Then the Reverend Haggard, the minister, when he saw the crowd I had, he introduced me to East Road. And when I went about it, they told me I could only have it one Wednesday every other week.
Yeah.
The folks didn't so happy about it, but something in my heart said, take it. And I decided to take it. And the very first day I decided to move in to have the prayer meeting, they changed the caretaker. And a woman was her name of Mrs. Keane. And she said, Mr. Wright, the union meeting that used to be here, they stop it now, so you can have the hall for every Wednesday night for prayer meeting. And then we started there with prayer meeting. And I remember I used to have to take that Valor lamp, like what you have there, in my car boot, take it down to East Road to heat up the place, and Mrs. Keane would give me a little coal and make up a coal fire, to warm up the place till the people come, because when I said it was really dead cold. And one day when I finished making up and my hands was black, no hot water to wash my hands, I was cold, I went down before God, right in that hall, and I said, God, this place, the people who have it don't know the use of it, please for it. I asked God to give it to me. And in a matter of a month, the minister came to me and said, you know, Pastor Wright, we were thinking to let you rent over this side and use it to your own self. When they thought that it was belonging to the Board of Education, but it was left for the St. Paul's Church. And when they found out, the education, Board of Education said, if we can pay £14 a month in those days, we can buy it then. And they referred me to a minister. When the minister got the letter from us, he wrote me back that he don't think I can afford it.
He didn't think you could afford it?
But I write him back a letter and let him know, owing to the fact that my congregation is a growing congregation, I prepare to meet any obligation. And he wrote me a letter and apologized to me. And that was the way we get Heath Road to buy. God lead us from there. We were able to buy, as I told you, Heath Road. And from Heath Road, when we outgrow it, couldn't hold in there anymore, then the Lord gave us this place.
All the things that I love and hold dear to my heart.
This era here, around here, was the first time I ever played bass guitar. It was a young man by the name of Orville Thomas taught me my first, I think he goes to Rat now, but he taught me my first bass line. Doom, 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 doom. And I remember this was all benches, and I had one of the guitars from one of the brothers here, and we played the chorus. I think it was called I Fly Away. It was a brown bass. I think it might have belonged to Brother Oldell, and we sat in this position around about 30 years ago. And what a wonderful opportunity to be back. My roots.
And I suppose you must have remember many days you come in convention. I'm worried that we were going to put people. This place used to be packed with the capacity.
I remember.
Right.
I remember.
And we moved from there. God gave us, as a matter of fact, in 1 year we bought 3 properties.
Just from the front, just from starting in your home?
Yes. When the church started, I was going to school because I promised myself for higher education. But if I tell you what happened, while I was to go up to that school up the top there, and then when I leave to Stratton, I go to Beechcroft. But then the church was, I didn't have nobody to carry the service during the week and so on, visit the people, so I had to give it up. So I gave up my education for the church. But I'm not sorry, because the church progressed so rapidly.
Yes.
So rapidly that today, you know, many of the young people, when I look around, the Sunday school, as you know, we have in this church 200 children enrolled.
Yes.
We used to have 3 minibus collecting children. Those days, you ask the parents for the children have to come. But nowadays, the parents now ask, and do you want to go? The child said no, and that's it. And that's why things is like what it is today. Okay, well, say for instance, when we came here, that wall was all bricks. Right. All bricks. And I get the men to render it. And this, over that barrier there, were right over here. And the Lord showed me how to do, you know, because they are wondering how we do it like this, because I didn't have an architect. They think I had an architect. But when I go to bed at night, the Lord showed me, and I come and I tell the builder what I wanted. And then we move it and make a passageway there. That's it. You can have that big oil liner.
Wow.
So all what you're seeing here is even these benches, we get them come here, because we didn't get no seats when we get by the church. It's, if you notice now, we had a music play where there's the control. And we just built a disabled toilet there. So, you know, God has been very good. The pool is right there.
Baptism pool.
Yeah. Yes, so everything you've seen here, we done it. But I tell you, there's a song that the Holy Spirit taught me, and I used to play that a lot too. Although my people despise me, and my friends are all gone, all to Jesus I've promised, I'll never depart. I'm working for heaven, and surely I'll be. I have a new friend, and his name is Jesus. And you know, to my surprise, when I go back to Jamaica, I heard it on the radio. Because it takes so much in the country, you see. It's just one day as a young Christian, the Holy Spirit came over me and taught me that song. Nobody taught me. I'm the first person that sing it like that. Although my people despise me, and my friends are all gone, all to Jesus I've promised, I'll never depart. I'm working for heaven, and surely I'll be. I've got a new friend, and his name is Jesus. Music today in the church is an asset. Music is spoiling a lot of young people today, destroying. But if you have the right music, it's an asset in the church. And I love music. From ever since I love music. I used to play the tambourine. You know what I used to make it out of? Chocolate tree, the young chocolate. Cut them out and bend them.
Yes.
And I used to play that thing so beautiful. You see? So music is a wonderful part in the church. And especially today, if you don't have music in a church, you won't get young people. I have grown up young people here now that I'm seeing them with grandchildren. Bless them, marry them, and come bless their grandchildren. I've seen quite about 2 or 3 different generations.
I used to be one of those young ones that used to come, and I used to play here, Bishop. And I know that you were very, 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 very hard when it came to music. You wanted the music to sound right.
Right.
Yeah. So Bishop, how do you feel? Can you remember those days when the choruses used to be going, and you might stand up and you might look over to the left and you say, "Stop the music"? Yeah. How do you, when you think about those times, why did you used to do that back in the day?
Well, because I love things go good. There's nothing better to me than you saying, I heard something melody. And this is why whatever I do, I try to do it out of my heart. Now, if you have a music over the side and the congregation singing one way, that's confusing. But when you have the melody, because when I used to play the music, nobody starts a song unless they start under the aspect of the music I'm playing with the chord.
Yes.
But nowadays I notice a lot of these men, they don't know, they can't do that. The people have to sing and they pick it up.
Yeah.
But I always give them the chord and they go ahead with it. And that's why I was so, I like to see things done.
All right, so you stopped us, Pastor, Bishop, because we weren't playing in the right key.
Right.
Right, okay. Thanks for clearing up. I appreciate that. Bishop, what do you think about what the church boys are doing today?
I think it's very good. Because I tell you something, even my wife now, she didn't know anything about this lamp or valor lamp. You was talking about it the other day. But showing it to the people where we're coming from, it makes a lot of difference. Because so many people came now, say like people come from the 80s upward, beautiful church, they think it's like that, but it wasn't. It was very difficult. I never go through that, but a lot of people go into many of the white church and they ask them not to come back. Quite a number of people. Quite a number of people have been turned down, and because of that they failed God, because if the people turn them out of the church, where would they go? Well, one of my greatest messages I have, one, don't get in pride. have an ambition. Get yourself educated. And if you're being blessed, don't take it that is your own merit. Your parents have gone through hard life to grow you up. When you think of what we used to, a home with one room may have 2 children in it with the parents because they couldn't afford a house. And God allowed the parents to come and bless them with a home, and the children become more independent. Those days it wasn't. But today, I would say to the younger generation that make sure that you take Christ as your Savior. Don't get in pride. Have ambition. If a young man have ambition, they will make it. Doesn't matter how hard it is, difficult it is, you can make life.
Yes.
Yes. I think it's coming up somewhere here. Sure, I saw it. Here. This was Francis' mother when she had cancer.
Oh, John Francis.
John Francis. That was her. Hmm?
Can you show me? Wow. Healed of cancer.
And God healed her, and then after John conceived, and she was conceived, and John came, you know.
Wow.
See the blessing that he is today. Yeah.